Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Allana Da Graca, and I am so excited that you have decided to join me with the Women Build Confidence VIP 2.0 online training. This video will kick off our series when we think about the Women Build Confidence coaching series experience. So welcome. I know many of you have sent me emails, have sent messages, and I want to say thank you to the Women Build Confidence Tribe for taking part in this first launch as we kicked this off in 2018. So I'm the president of Turning on the Lights Global Institute, Incorporated. And what I like to do is use trainings, professional development products, Women Build Confidence trainings and seminars, and publishing materials to help individuals reach goals. You know, it's wonderful when you see women from all backgrounds realizing that they too can upgrade their lives. Now, our hashtag for the whole year has been hashtag UPML. In first person, I will upgrade my life. So welcome. So a lot of times we ask ourselves, why is it important to upgrade? Why is it important to think bigger and broader about who we can become? A lot of times as women, we serve so many individuals. We serve our families, we serve our communities, we serve our workplace environments. And at the end of the day, sometimes we are just completely, wiped out. Now, one of the things that we mentioned in one of our first meetings was simply that as we mature as women, sometimes we find it very difficult to take time to invest in ourselves. And, one of the wonderful things that we have an opportunity to do today is to really ask ourselves, is it important for me to upgrade in my thinking, upgrade my expectations, upgrade when it comes to my personal or professional life? Now, these are some of the questions that come to mind. Many years ago, I remember taking a flight to Paris, and my husband and I, we were in economy seating, and then there was an opportunity to be placed in first class. And I'll never forget the flight attendant asking me, would you like to be moved or upgraded to first class? And we said, of course. As soon as we got up there, it was amazing. We were able to spread our legs out, relax a little further, and I remember sleeping so well during the flight. Imagine if you had that kind of expansion in your personal life, where you felt like you could actually dream again, be re-energized again, and be able to reach new goals. Well, that's what we want you to think about as you consider upgrading your life. Things that make you go, See, sometimes when we look outside the window, we may notice that we're in deep thought. We're asking ourselves, do I resent my experiences? Do I resent what I had to go through? If I had to do this all over again, what would be some of the decisions I would make? And I'm going to take a moment and let you think about that. Hopefully you have a journal or something that you can write with, because I think you're going to want to figure out, well, what does that mean for me? See, one of the things that's really important to me is that as women participate in this training, that it's about getting to your heart, getting at the heart points of what makes you shine, having that breakthrough moment where you recognize, oh my goodness, I really can shift the way I have been thinking for this many years. And hopefully, if you've experienced a change at the heart, please let us know by joining the Women Build Confidence coaching group right on Facebook. Even more, you can just send me a wonderful letter or email at subscriber@drallanadagraca.com. We would love to hear from you. So one of the first things I want to remind you is to show up for yourself. How do you show up for yourself when you've been so busy serving others? Well, number one, realize that you can master your investment of time. you can really ask yourself, what am I saying yes to? Number 2, determine your inner circle. Number 3, make a bold decision to value your time. And one of the things that's really hard is number 4, being able to say no. A lot of times we have great intentions. And I used to struggle with this as a young person, wanting to volunteer and be a part of everything until I realized how burnt out I was. So it's really essential that we take time to ask ourselves, how am I investing my time? If I had to look at my inner circle, those that I spend time with, and I had to rate it from a 1 to 10, who would I give a 1 and who would I give a 10, and why is this important? 3, make a bold decision to value your time. And again, remember to say no. See, when we think about these 4 areas that we call external influences to our existence, we can then begin to say, oh no, I'm going to show up for myself when I think about these times. When I think about my friends, when I think about how I spend my time. So one of the things I would love for all of you to do, if you have not done so already, is to join our tribe of support. When we think about March, we think about Women's History Month, we think about celebration, and just in general, all of the things that women do on a day-to-day basis. You might be a mother, you might be a daughter, you might be a sister, cousin, friend, whatever your role might be. It's really great when you feel like you are part of a tribe where you can be celebrated, where you can be able to say, hey, today I don't feel perfect, and have a number of women support you. That's what the Women Build Confidence Coaching Group is all about. It's a private group, and we come together during our book club meetings and during our special webinars and seminars, and I would love to have you be a part of that. And so, we come from all walks of life, from all different types of experiences. And if you're someone who's really serious about growing in 2018 and beyond, then you definitely want to be a part of our tribe of support. Now, let's take a moment. When we think about personal growth and we think about success, of course, we look at people that we admire. Obviously, we all know Oprah Winfrey, and we know and have seen a lot of her work, a lot of the movies she's produced, a lot of the talk shows that she's produced, and we applaud in her victory. But a lot of times people don't realize that she had to sleep on the porch of a family member because she was not seen as beautiful or as accepted. Ariana Huffington, she had to take the risk of stepping out to become the media mogul she is today. Dr. Maya Angelou, who we all know as the poet laureate and the writer of the wonderful, phenomenal woman poem. You know what? Many people don't remember that for many years she was silent. Could you imagine Dr. Maya Angelou never writing a book? Well, she had to find a way to get over that stillness that allowed her to stop speaking. And, Amelia Earhart, imagine living in that time. First of all, taking flight was one thing. The second thing, women's roles were the next. So when we think about these women, they were courageous. They were able to dare to dream. And in the same way that they were able to dare to dream, you can do that as well. You have a story. You have an experience that maybe other people can learn from. Or maybe you have a gift that maybe you have a gift that you haven't been able to operate in yet, but maybe this year you say, you know what, I will upgrade my life when it comes to this particular area in my life. So I'm so excited about all of you taking part in this WBC VIP training, because if you take it seriously, you never know what kind of dreams you might actually see yourself accomplishing. So I remember when I was a young adult, just I think a few years out of college, out of grad school really, and I had heard about this term affirmation. I heard that affirmations were wonderful for helping you to project a stronger version of yourself. And I thought, oh, an affirmation, why would that be important to me? But I gave it a shot and decided to write part of an affirmation. And I remember writing it, as you can see here. I am delivered from scattered thinking. My yes will be yes, and my no will be no. I will not be cowardly unsettled by situations, family, or friends. I will love my skin, my feet to dance, my cheeks of splendor. Your best is in me. I will never wrestle after consulting you. Close ones who remind me of my past have no place in my newness. You see, sometimes we've all gone through different turmoils in life at this stage, especially if you're older. You've experienced things in your life. And sometimes we're not even aware of how our experiences have impacted us, have impacted the way that we think and the way that we see ourselves and project our ability to reach new goals. But I remember writing this statement, and I remember, I would say it in front of the mirror and I just would read it. But repetition is awesome. And they say it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So I was saying this affirmation at least twice a week. But I'll never forget the day when 6 months later, 2 years later, I began saying this and I memorized it because I was saying it so often. And there was one particular day when I changed the way I was saying this statement. I put my shoulders back, I put my head out, and I remember saying, I am delivered from scattered thinking. My yes will be yes, and my no will be no. I will not be cowardly unsettled by situations, by family or friends. See, we all come from complicated relationships, every one of us. And we have to be able to be objective when we go through our experiences. Now, research shows that a lot of what we've experienced has caused us to see ourselves in a given way. But imagine if you were able to find a way to own your experience. Imagine if you were able to finally have peace with who you are, even though you're not perfect, even though everything is not perfect, but you were able to say, you know what, I'm going to be able to move forward. It's okay that I've experienced what I've experienced. It no longer has to take me captive. So hopefully you too can think about a way that you can affirm a new you. So I would like to challenge you at this time. If I had to ask you a question, I would ask you, what is your I am statement? When you think about how you view yourself, what would be your I am statement? Number one, I am someone who is. Number two, I am someone who believes. Number three, I am someone who will make the decision to. You see, when you begin to make a new change, you'll be surprised at what you are able to discover with regards to yourself. Now, sometimes when I'm talking to individuals and we're going through their I am statements, they feel awkward. You know why? Because we spent so many years thinking about all the things that we don't do well. However, I would just encourage you to keep in mind, this is your opportunity to say, you know what, I can think of something new. So I would double dare you right now to complete the sentence. I am someone who is. I am someone who believes. I am someone who will make the decision to. So with that in mind, keep in mind this idea of UPML. I will upgrade my life. So I will show up for self. I will be able to pinpoint the areas that I really want to focus on. And this ability to determine to have your own personal wake-up call. Now, this year, I have been giving women an opportunity to take part in this contest where you may be given a gift of a $100 Amazon gift card. But you, number one, have to be a part of the Women Build Confidence coaching group. And number two, you have to be able to share with us your journey of personal growth. So if you had to think about the areas that you wanted to focus in when we think about building our confidence, what would that area be? If you have not done so already, make sure to download the journal and the packet that comes with this course so that you can really follow your progression as you grow throughout this 5-week period. But I really do hope that today you are able to determine, you know what, I am going to have my wake-up call, meaning I don't have to be comfortable anymore where I am at. I mean, sometimes we just have to get angry, not in a vengeful way, but angry that we've accepted certain things or certain aspects of our life being challenged over a given period of time. Like I have placed in my Dr. D Inspire stream on Instagram, you know, if you've had the same payment at your job for the last 4 years and you feel like you've been giving your all, why not try to do something else to either A, grab a promotion or move forward so that you continue to develop? Or if you feel like you've been overweight for an extended period of time, why not say, okay, I'm going to do something different? Today could be your wake-up call. So as you think about your focal point, here are some things to keep in mind. Number one, you really want to set your priorities. How important is it for you to make true change in one given area in your life? Number two, put a demand on your priorities. Like if you had to say, hey, in 6 months, I expect that I will be at this point. You know, a lot of people don't like to place demands on their priorities because they're afraid if they fail, they won't like how they feel. But if you put a demand on your priorities and set tangible goals, you'll be really happy when you see that you can actually set tangible goals and see these as milestones towards a larger vision. And number four, you really want to think about accountability. So how do you establish accountability as you think about this focal point? Well, number one, you know, find individuals you can really lean on for support. Now, the Women Build Confidence Coaching Group is a wonderful tribe that you can be a part of, where you have me, your coach, and the author giving you tips along the way as your personal transformation coach. So keep this in mind. You can set your priorities, put a demand on your priorities, and pinpoint milestones in a 28 to 40-day window. Now, I love telling my story because, you know what, I wouldn't be who I am today had I not had those challenging times. So if you haven't watched my TEDx talk, I want to talk to you about my 120-day experience. You know, in my book, Tomorrow Can't Wait, I talk about how I was given the diagnosis of endometriosis. Now, endometriosis is a very painful condition that allows where the uterine lining, instead of it coming out during aunt flow, it is actually expelled in different places within the body, making it very difficult for a woman to get through her day-to-day activities, especially during that time of month. It's very painful. And, you know, at that time, I also was teaching and doing a lot with my students. With that said, I had to really figure out, how can I take care of myself with such a busy schedule? So with all of this, you know, we all know that we can have moments in life where we have busy schedules, we're not able to move forward the way we would like to, and because of that, we will have the pill of resentment. So with that said, number one, you may experience a lot of self-doubt. Maybe there are things that have happened in your life, and a lot of the women that we have spoken to said that they may have had diagnoses, or they may have been through some kind of traumatic event or an accident that has stopped them from believing that anything new can happen. You may experience setbacks or obstacles towards any area in your life that makes you begin to believe that nothing new is possible. But guess what? It didn't stop with that story of the diagnosis for me. Really, one day I began to ask myself, Allana, if you only had 4 months to live, would you really be happy? What would you do differently if you had to do it all over again? And I recognized I had all of these journals in the basement. They were just hiding, you know, and finally one day I recognized, you know what? I don't have to keep living average. I can do something different. So I packed up all of my things and I began to head to Starbucks and began to write the very first book, Tomorrow Can't Wait. So for those of you who have the book, imagine you would not have that book if I were not able to tell you my story, which is the simple discussion that if I could find a way to change my personal my personal experience, then you can do it as well. You can see your setbacks as your teachers, as opportunities for you to grow. So you can really take time to figure out how you can define your moments as you're trying to move forward in life. You can use some of the resources that we have in the Women Build Confidence coaching training. We have an action plan calendar. We have a number of things for you to keep in mind. But again, you really want to find ways to prioritize your goals. So set your prioritized goal, create mini milestones, and think about your calendar as an opportunity for you to analyze your benchmarks. And again, we have a number of trainings, and I'm so glad that you're a part of the WBC VIP course. So what are some actions you can take beginning today? Well, number one, you can have a friendship analysis. I always say every year, jot down all your friends from 1 to 10. 1 being nothing is happening, 10 being they're very supportive, 5 being they're indifferent. And really take time to analyze, well, where are you with your friendships? Now, if you're spending a lot of time with people that are on the left side of the pendulum, I would have to ask you to think about your view of yourself. Because if you really think that you're a 5-star person or someone that has great expectations, strong confidence in who you are, then you won't allow individuals around you that are going to constantly berate you or bring you down or never allow you to really be fully who you are without feeling like you're walking on eggshells. So you really want to take time to consider your friendships and ask yourself, are these friendships building me or are they breaking me? You, number 2, can take time to create an affirmation. So if you had to create your affirmation, maybe your affirmation is different than mine. But if you had to use your I am statements, what would your statements be? I am someone who is confident. I am someone who is astute in my profession. So you would have to think about what your statement would be. And, my why. Why is it important for you to upgrade your life? Why is #UPML something that you should consider? Also remember, in order to make true change, you have to think about the habitual actions you will need on a consistent basis. So if you had to think about one area that you want to change, what are 3 habits you would need to create in order to see that change? For me, I know that life balance is very important. And one of the habits I had to create was making sure that at a certain time, I completely stopped all work. So that included bringing my computer to bed with me or having a computer and my cell phone and TV on at the same time, having to set new parameters of boundaries. So I would like you, when you have your time, to think about 3 habits that you could use or you could create to make change. So as you can see, we have the Women Build Confidence book on Amazon that you can download. You can also get it on Kindle. So there's a soft paperback version and there's the online version. Choose whichever one suits you better. But as you can look at this calendar, you see that we have a 5-week plan, and it's pretty much laid out for you. Week 1, on Monday, read chapter 1. Tuesday, journal. Wednesday, watch a Women Build Confidence video inside of the Women Build Confidence coaching group. Thursday, rest, and Friday, take an action. So you're thinking about the habits you're trying to make and you're aligning your actions with that habit. So as you can see, the Women Build Confidence book is small. And I always say it's not about the length of the book as it is actually doing the work within the book. So keep that in mind. Remember, we have tons of resources with the Turning on the Lights Global Institute products. Number 1, we have the Women Build Confidence digital course. You can find that right online at drallanadagraca.com/shop. We also have a number of public speaking courses on the udemy.com site. Ignite Your Public Speaking coaching series, social media incubation, and group coaching. And then for your personal development, we have the Tomorrow Can't Wait book, Chronicles of a Poet, where I really use poetry to talk about why it's essential for you to kind of wake up to your imagination, wake up to your creativity, and the Women Build Confidence digital training. So we have a number of resources to start to help you develop some fundamental skills for growing in your personal and professional lives. Again, I would encourage you to go on Amazon.com and research any of these books that I have. Tomorrow Can't Wait, Chronicles of a Poet, and the Women Build Confidence Coaching Series. It was my pleasure to be your presenter today. This is Dr. Allana Da Graca with Turning on the Lights Global Institute, and this is the Women Build Confidence 2.0 launch video. Thank you guys for being a part of this series. We would love to have you in our Women Build Confidence coaching group. So please send us a request today, and please subscribe to my website at drallanadagraca.com. Goodbye. Oh, how could I forget, my friends? Let me leave you with some last notes. Number 1, make a commitment to your personal change. Number 2, remember to revisit your circle. Number 3, remove the weights. So anything that's holding you back from accomplishing a better version of yourself, try to remove the weights today. Remember, change equals process. You want to be able to use the tools to help you along the way. Everyone, take care again. It was my pleasure to serve you. Bye-bye.